One of my favorite sport is badminton, and after playing it for years, I have learned a lot from it. Today, I'll tell you a story of a person, and I think because of him, the Indian badminton has achieved a lot. So it was 1991. Gopichand sir was 18 years old in a 18-member team, which played Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia tournaments in a sequence. So nobody in the team never reached the second or the third round. So they used to lose on the first or the second day itself. So after losing the first round in Malaysia, they gathered for dinner and all were praising the Chinese, the Malaysians, the Indonesians, that how they played, how they dived, how they smashed. And this is something a 18-year-old boy don't want to listen. So he stood up and said, मैं जीत के दिखाऊंगा. So everyone said to him that तू बच्चा है, बहुत उचक रहा है, जल्दी सीख जाएगा. So in a speech, he told that what kept him alive till today was that he kept the kid alive in him, which made him learn new things, which made achieve good heights and win a lot of tournaments. After that, he played a lot of tournaments and practiced a lot. And due to his hard work and dedication, he won the 2001 All England Open. So let me tell you something. All England Open is one of the most prestigious tournaments in badminton, and it's the oldest of all. Like it started in 1899 in England. So it is one of the prestigious tournaments which he won in 2001. So after this tournament, people started to recognize who Pullela Gopichand was and started gaining knowledge about badminton. His whole badminton career was not that easy. He had multiple losses. He had 3 surgeries on his right knee and one on his left. And he had fractures and ligament tear while playing. But he had that kid alive in him which was saying, मैं जीत के दिखाऊंगा. And then due to his pain and injuries in legs, he started taking coaching of some of the batches in his academy which he played. So he started with one and then two, but alongside he also played tournament. But then it was in 2004 that he took coaching seriously and left badminton professionally. But he did professionally retire as badminton player. He was still a player but started giving coaching to different kids and players. So in one of his speeches, he told that he didn't wait for the right opportunity to come to give coaching, but he just started and figured out the way. He didn't care about how much funding he had. He didn't care about how much knowledge he had. He didn't even knew it was sustainable or not. He just knew something that he wanted to share and teach others. It was 2004 that he took some kids in Hyderabad and started teaching them. Oldest of them was Parupalli Kashyap, who was 16 years old and he had won a Commonwealth medal. Then there was Sai Praneeth, who was 11. He won World Championship medal. Then there was Saina, who was 13 years old, and the youngest of them was PV Sindhu, who was 9 years old, and he took 13 to 14 kids and started teaching them. If he would have waited for the funding or would have waited for the nomination of a coach, or if he would have waited for the right opportunity to come, we would have never seen these great players in our life. So in anything, the start is always the hardest. So when Gopi sir started coaching, a lot of other people wanted to learn from him. So he had gathered a lot of people. So he thought that he should build an academy to teach more people. So he went to different places, different companies for funding, for money. But he didn't get it because nobody respected badminton much in those days, or nobody knew much potential in badminton in 2004. So he struggled for money, went to different places, but he didn't get it. So at the last, it was the family who supported him. So he had mortgaged his land for money and built the academy. He built a brick to brick from his own money and started teaching people. Then he noticed that there were no badminton tournaments held in India. So he organized one of the first badminton tournaments of India, the Asian Championships, and many more. So in those tournament days, he had literally managed everything. He managed the money, he managed the matches. He used to sleep at 2 or 3 in the morning and get up at to break all the mental barriers and win an Olympic gold. So while practicing, she didn't even bother what people were saying, and she just kept playing. So in 2008 Olympics, which was in Beijing, Saina had reached the quarterfinals of it, and this was the first time media had covered badminton in India on a large scale. So the team used to go 10 days earlier to the Olympic Village prior to the main event, and Saina had a gym session at 6 a.m. So in that Olympics, Saina had lost the quarterfinals, and for any player, losing in a quarterfinal is a really bad thing because all the people has a lot of expectations. So the match finished at around 8 and they were leaving the stadium at around 9 p.m. So Gopi sir asked her that Saina kal gym. So it was frank to say no, because after a loss, player is not in a mentality to go in the regime. But Saina replied, "भैया कल 6:30 बजे, भैया please at 6:30, भैया please 6:30 बजे." So Gopi sir didn't expect that kind of answer from her. But what we can learn from it here is, so the thing that we can learn from here is that sometimes we have to keep our losses away and practice for the next big win. So in this speech, Gopi sir talks about one of the main aspects which he learned while playing badminton, and I'll link it down in the description below. He said that he and his players had faced a lot of failures, and failing is absolutely fine. He told that ignore the mistakes and focus on the positives. So he told that after a player is lost, if you ask him how he made badminton possible in India, and I would highly recommend you more researching about. I would link all the resources that I have learned and made this video in the description below. And Olympics, the YouTube channel has made a documentary, 6 video series playlist on YouTube on the topic of badminton, the Indian badminton. So I would also link that in the description. And to all of us who are willing to achieve greatness, bring a massive change and focus on positive, to us I say you're one step closer to bringing a change. Until next week guys, I'll see you around.